Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming News. Today is the 2nd January of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be your host for this evening. Today we got 3 interesting pieces for you. First of them is a rumor that is saying that maybe we could see a new Xbox in 2019. Second is about cheaters using claims of being banned without using cheats to essentially assault anti-cheat software. And last of all, the fact that ad we talked about not that long ago that was for PUBG from Microsoft being pulled down. But let's begin with the rumor about the Xbox One. So this rumor comes from a YouTuber called Dreamcast Guy, who claims he has some insider information from a person working in Microsoft saying that the Xbox Next, let's call it the Xbox Next, is going to come in 2019. Well, now, if you think about it, there are 2 different ways to think about this claim. So first of all, on average, the length of a console lifespan is around 5 years, and, well, yeah. Then, in 2019 would sound pretty plausible, as that would be 6 years after the release of the Xbox One X. Oh, sorry, Xbox One. The thing is, there's the Xbox One X, which was released, well, last year at this moment, but not that long ago. So why exactly would Microsoft push out a new generation console so soon after the Xbox One X? Again, there are a few ways to think about this. So first of all, this is just complete bullshit and we won't see a new Xbox for at least a few years, specifically for the reason that the Xbox One X exists. And, you know, it's not the cheapest thing, and probably wasn't the cheapest thing to develop on top of that. So Microsoft will probably want to get some money back of the sales of it. The other thing to think about is this generation of consoles wasn't really that great for Microsoft. Sony has done way better than Microsoft selling PlayStations than they did selling Xboxes. So being the first one on the market might actually be a good way to regain some of that lost ground. But I really don't know to tell you what will happen. In my opinion, I think 2090 is a bit too early. My suspicion is 2020, but early 2020. And if it's going to be 2090, it's going to be late 2090, like 2-3 months before Christmas, so everybody can get on the hype train and they can release a few good games before Christmas. One thing I think should be taken into consideration is the fact that the Xbox One X could have been sort of a testing ground for what gamers actually want with the next console. Whether they want raw power, whether they want price. And as far as we know, the Xbox One X is actually selling pretty decently. We don't know the exact figures, obviously, but it isn't as big of a flop as some people predicted it to be for the price it's being offered at. So maybe an actual next generation Xbox with really powerful hardware could potentially be released. My guess is if it comes to be true, then only very specific titles that can abuse the hell of a really powerful machine will initially be released for the Xbox One Next, or let's just call it the Xbox Next. Because you really need something to catch the eye of the customers to sell a product. And for example, for the Switch, it was the Zelda game. Because people love Zelda and people wanted to play Zelda, and the Zelda was really good. But if you're talking about an actual next generation console, most people will be looking at graphics. Sadly, it is true. So, and unless the games being released can abuse the hell out of this, I don't really expect to see a new Xbox next. On top of that, it would probably be heavily marketed as the true 4K machine capable of beating the most powerful of PCs, and it will probably be capable of beating the vast majority of PCs in raw performance, and especially thanks to optimization. The thing is, I don't think that many people actually do have 4K TVs or monitors for that case to actually abuse 4K gaming. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is sort of a long run sort of news, so let's wait and see. Our second piece of today is, well, this was initially reported by a few guys, broke up on Reddit, where people started to claim that, yeah, we're getting banned just because we have catbot in our names when we use Linux. This is because there's an aimbot that's called catbot, and obviously aimbots are the sort of thing that anti-cheat devices ban. But eventually, it was found out that this was just complete fabrication. This was clarified by a Valve employee in a Reddit post who said, the VAC will not ban you for simply having catbot in your username, either your Steam profile or on one or more of your Linux accounts. The bug report, and I suspect many of the posts in this thread, are a tactic employed by cheaters to try and sow discord and distrust among anti-cheat systems. And on one hand, wow guys, that's a really good tactic to use just to claim people are getting banned left and right. On the other hand, wouldn't that just make your products not being sold? I wouldn't actually see this as much of a tactic to sow distrust between players and anti-cheat systems, more among the people who are actually using cheating software to use software that isn't catbot, to use anything else. Because obviously that would make a lot of sense. Just, you know, oh, if catbot is getting banned, then I'm just going to use this one that's called dogbot or whatever. I don't really know how cheating softwares are called. I don't use them. And I did in the past, but only for single player games whenever I got bored and I wanted to do crazy shit. But really, this is honestly a good tactic employed by the cheaters or cheat software developers to actually sell more of their products, especially if they're not catbot producers. And our last piece of news is again about Microsoft, but this time we're going to talk about the ad we talked about recently. So you guys might remember there was this ad created by Microsoft showing off an Xbox One X with a field on top of it, a crate, and a PUBG character slowly walking to it. And we talked about the fact that it was very heavily inspired, more copied, from a guy called Maxter on Reddit who just liked making things, and he created an ad concept that was essentially the same, just with a different Xbox and without the crate. And Microsoft just took the ad down. And that's a good thing. Though, should be noted, in an ideal world, this ad would just never have gone through all the process of being published. Though I understand why it happened. Probably nobody really knew about this user-created ad being actually out there, because people don't usually spend hours and hours on Reddit, especially if they have a job. and they have a job that requires them to do things and work. Now, I just seem mean, right? Now, I didn't mean it in a bad way, just, you know, Reddit is huge, and missing something is really easy. But the internet is huge as well, and somebody will pick it up. And that's what happened. We don't really know anything about why it was taken down specifically. Also, we don't know if the ad was actually created directly by Microsoft or if it was created by some external agency. But yeah, it is a good thing the ad was taken down. I actually hope they will buy the ad from Maxter and use that one, because that would be only fair if they at least paid him a nice sum of money for the work he did that has pretty obviously made their own ad happen. And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing to our channel. If you are watching this on Steemit, please consider giving us an upvote and following our blog, as we will be your daily source of gaming news every single day. That's sort of the point of the word daily there. And see you guys later with more gaming content.